all right. Let's get in here, man, and talk about these Baltimore Ravens and the NFL draft as a whole. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I got the right mic hooked up. Give me 1 sec. Get everything together. I thought I had the right mic, but I realized I got a different set of headphones on. Let's see what the default is. Uh, let me do let me do this. Let me see if that's the right one. All right, here we go. All right. So hopefully, man, hopefully this sound is coming through to you guys pretty clear. I probably should open up. Hold on, let me open up. Let me open up my app and see if I can catch it. Nevertheless, so man, 7 rounds of the draft is in the books for the Baltimore Ravens. And 11 picks later, we are here. Meant to get in here earlier today or even late last night and talk about this NFL draft for the Ravens, but didn't get home till late. And then I had a whole lot of stuff to do. Um, and so, man, this is just my time to get in here and break bread with you guys talking about the draft. And the one thing I'll say about the draft, if I had to grade it, I'd give it a B plus or A minus. And that's not even on the basis of who I liked or didn't like, when I thought a pick was good or when I thought a pick was bad. In fact, I thought all 11 picks were quality picks. I thought that there were some other opportunities to get some other dudes, but nevertheless, I thought they were all quality picks. They all are different and unique. There was no copy and paste to any of the draft picks. Draft, round one and round two and round three, all distinctly different. And rounds 4 through 7 were all distinctly different, even if the positions were a second pick of the same position. All of the players were uniquely different. I think this is the first draft that I've seen in this iteration of the Ravens led by EDC, where we went into the draft having a host of needs, whether that was upgrade or whether that was depth. And we came out of the draft with every single need being addressed. And I give a shout out to EDC for that, right? You guys know I'm typically hard on EDC, especially when I think that we're not aggressive enough. I did think that we lacked a level of aggression in this draft, especially rounds 4 through 7. In fact, I saw some trading down that did not make any sense, switching out of fourth for a fifth and moving up into sixth, that kind of stuff. That gives away your control over your draft capital, right? You're on the board basically with a fourth, but you don't know what's going to be there in the 6th round. Nevertheless, man, it is what it is. So let's get into these draft picks, man. We know who we picked in the first 3 rounds. Malachi Starks, I give that an A. No matter whether I thought we should have went in a different direction, I give it an A. Drafting the best safety on the board. Translation: best safety in this draft. I give it an A. Uh, Getting the second best pass rusher in this draft and Mike Green with pick 59. I give that also an A. Um, Getting a talented dude, a 3-year starter at tackle, like an Emory Jones, who many believe that he's better suited to move inside to the guard. Either way, man, it creates competition immediately and it gives us a quality piece at right tackle or at the guard position, who is a 3-year starter in big time football conference like the SEC, playing for LSU, and that was Emory Jones. And so I give it 2 A's and a B. I thought there were some other guys on the board with that pick 91, but it is what it is. I thought we could have packaged pick 91 with some other picks and moved up, but hey, 2 A's and a B is still a solid grade. Um, I thought Teddy Buchanan. Matter of fact, let me get these guys pulled up here. Give me 1 sec. All right. So when we start day number 4, we start with the picking of a linebacker, and that's Teddy Buchanan, right? And some people liked the pick, some people didn't like the pick. I didn't know much about him, right? I didn't know much about this linebacker out of California, so I had to just go look him up and see what he was about. And 6'2", around 230 pounds, and this guy's super athletic. And everything I've read about him, he is good in coverage. He will fill gaps. He will blitz. He has good speed, and again, let me say this again. He's good in pass coverage, which is something we've been lacking. We thought we were going to get that from Trenton Simpson last season, and we didn't. Now, I'm not saying he's going to jump right in and start over Trent Simpson. I'm not going to say he's going to see a whole lot of the field in his first season, but having a young talented guy who is athletic, explosive, I think could only make us better. And so you'll hear this as a theme throughout this video. The Baltimore Ravens were better after night 1. The Baltimore Ravens were better after pick 59. The Baltimore Ravens were better after pick 91. The Baltimore Ravens were better after this 4th-round pick. Now, of course, we traded the second 4th-round pick. We traded back into the 5th round. And so let's see who we went and got. All right. So in the 5th round, we get a tackle, Carson Benson, a big guy, 6'7", I believe he is, like 315-ish pounds. No. I think he's 305. I may have his measurements off, but nevertheless, man, a talented dude out of Alabama A&M, uh, a guy who has a lot of acclaim, a guy who was Offensive Player of the Year or was runner up for Offensive Player of the Year, and that says a lot that an offensive tackle could um, get that kind of award in the SWAC. Um, being that you have quarterbacks and wide receivers and tight ends and running backs, all those kind of things. So for an offensive lineman to be Offensive Player of the Year runner up in the SWAC, that speaks well to his ability. This guy has good feet. He has a basketball background, and he is a tackle. I think that he will play tackle at the NFL level. I don't think you can really slot him in because of his size at the guard position. Now, I would not put it past the Baltimore Ravens to try him out in the slot, but it was good to see the Baltimore Ravens double down on getting tackle depth. Um, we have our starting tackles already in place: Ronnie Stanley, Roger Rosengarten. So to draft Emory Jones in the 3rd, who may slot in again as a guard, and to get Carson Benson in the 5th round speaks to EDC paying attention to what the fan base had been decrying, what YouTube content creators have been saying, that the Baltimore Ravens need to do better with protecting Lamar Jackson. Now, is this guy going to jump in year 1 and dominate? Probably not. But the idea is that if you can get him trained up, coached up, mentored up by Ronnie Stanley and some other dudes, I think he could be a good player for the Baltimore Ravens for years to come. All right, let's go to the 6th round. And what you will notice is that I do not have every player who was drafted on here. I know you guys have already heard many commentaries about all of the players. I'm only talking about the players who I believe have an opportunity to make this roster. So with the 3 guys from the first 3 rounds, uh, Buchanan, Vincent, and now we're in the 6th round. We have a quarterback, Bilal Coney, and I think he wants to be called BK. This guy's out of Western Michigan. He's 6'1", around 190 plus pounds. And this guy has elite speed for a guy his size. I think he runs a 4.3. I think he has two times. One time I think was at his pro day, 4.39, and I think he ran a 4.41 or something like that at the combine. This guy has good length. Um, he has the ability to have good route recognition. He can play both press and also zone. And I think that he's the kind of pick that's going to put some other dudes on notice that they just can't lay on the roster anymore and collect checks. And we'll talk about draft casualties probably on Tuesday. We'll identify some guys who could be gone if these guys show their potential and show that they can make an impact, even if it's in a rotational manner in year one. And so, again, the first 3 rounds, then you had a fourth rounder, fifth rounder, and now the first 6 rounder. So we got 6 players who I believe can make the roster this year. Let's go to the second. Now, Longer Beam, I did not put on here. Now, he is a talented dude. He's a cornerback, more suited for the slot, 5'11". I think he's right at 185, shifty. He does not have the top end speed or anything like that, so he's definitely more suited for a corner. But he's good in coverage, uh, great route recognition, good at being right place, right time in his coverage. And I just think that he could make the roster, but I think he's more of a practice squad guy right now. But I did want to shout him out because I know he does have some ability. Uh, Another 6 rounder is LeJounte. LeJounte has got a lot of buzz since he's been drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. And the thing is, this guy is going to be a special teams ace for us. Um, Deontay Hardy was supposed to bring some kick return ability last year, and for whatever the reason, man, things just did not work out. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why things didn't work out with Deontay Hardy, other than he got hurt and had some family stuff going on, which I commend him for. Go handle your family business. Uh, Football is for a short time, but family, um, for the most part, is going to be forever. And so I think that it is what it was. But this guy has 7. Let me say that again. He has 7 punt or kick returns in his career. So this guy does have the ability to take it to the house. He does have good speed. I think he's a 4.4 guy, shifty, quick, and he's not just a special teamer. So he's going to do some damage on special teams this year. That's probably why they drafted him, but he is a legit receiver. He is. In fact, if I'm remembering his statistics correctly, and I'll do a special video on him and a couple of other dudes that we may not know much about because they don't have the big names. He leaves college having the 4th most catches in FBF history. That says he's been getting it done. He's a 1,000-yard receiver a couple of different times in his college career. He has good hands. He will catch the hands he will catch the ball with his hands. So he's not a body catcher. And so I think that this guy will make the roster. Um, I think last year's kind of preseason star, Dayton Wade, I think his days may be numbered. I think he may be on the practice squad again. I like Dayton Wade, but this guy is legit. Um, and so I believe that he's going to make the roster. All right. And so we go to another pick, and a lot of people, a lot of the content creators are saying this is their favorite. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. No. I think I got this one wrong. I went backwards. Let me go the other way. Sorry about that. Here we go. Um, so this guy's a defensive lineman. He's also a 6th round pick, and I think you pronounce his name Anise Pebbles or Peebles, however you want to pronounce it. I don't want to mess his name up. I probably already did, but out of Virginia Tech, and he is a terror. He's only about 6 foot, right? But he is a disruptive force on the inside, and he does have some outside ability. But his ability is to be disruptive. I think if I'm remembering correctly, he was an All American, maybe. He was an ACC Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I think I remember these accolades correctly, but he is a guy I will do a special on as well because I think that he could challenge some guys in front of him. You know, he's not going to challenge Meta BK. His spot is solidified. He's not going to challenge Travis Jones, but he is going to challenge other dudes for some minutes. I think this guy can have an impact in a rotational role in year one. And so, man, we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're up to 8 players. We're up to 8 players who I believe is going to make the team unless something strange happens. I believe the guys I just showed you can make the team. And last but not least is the 7th round offensive lineman, Garrett Dellinger. I think Dellinger could also make the team. I think that he's a true guard. So he's not an offensive tackle masquerading. He's a true guard. He's versatile. I was reading some of his profile. He's played every position along the offensive line, but his main position is at left guard. And so I think that with his 6'5" frame, 325 pounds, he has plays with power. He has above average athleticism for a guy his size. And I believe he could compete instantly for a spot on this roster. And so I think that these 9 guys compete for a roster spot and displace somebody on the roster. I think that what we saw from the Baltimore Ravens in this draft in particular is EDC building his practice squad while drafting. I think that what we saw was a slow process of being selected. Although we wanted a higher level, I wanted a higher level of aggression, but I think each player was selected meticulously to fill a certain position or to create competition at certain positions. And if they don't take the position from whoever's in front of them, I think all 11 players could end up on the practice squad. Now, when I say all 11 players, I mean all 11 players are going to become a part of this team. So that's what I have for you guys, man. I didn't want to keep you guys long. I just wanted to get in here and speak my piece about this Baltimore Ravens draft class. Also, catch me tomorrow morning, man. I have a conversation I want to have with you guys about this Shedeur Sanders situation. Not that I care anything about the Cleveland Browns. Not that I want them to be successful, but I do care about people. And what we saw from the league, and I just keep it like that, what we saw from the league was wrong. They made an example out of this kid, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So listen, man, I'm your guy, Boulanger. This is the GM, and we're out.